currently waiting for MEP candidate Deirdre Burca. She's inside canvassing, and in a minute she'll be out here.
You nervous, Dockrell?
Not at all.
Are you nervous?
Not at all.
Are you nervous?
I'm gonna ace it.
Ace it.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, just.
You're watching Youth Media for Europe, the leading website for the European elections.
Why did you first join the Green Party over other parties?
Okay, I joined the Green Party back in the early 90s because Eoghan Ryan, who's now the Minister for Energy and Communications, was a good friend of mine. He was very inspiring, very committed to the Green agenda, and I suppose through his enthusiasm he pulled me in, got me involved in Green Party meetings, and I first ran then for the Green Party in '99. I thought the Green Party had fresh thinking on so many of the important issues of the day, both economically, looking at a different model of more sustainable economic growth.
And you ran as a senator. Do you find that the Senate is solely a place for politicians to move up to the MEP or TD? Do you think that there's any other reason to have the Senate in existence other than a stepping wheel for the
I do. I think
Springbok?
the Senate is important as an upper house that actually oversees legislation, scrutinises it and improves it, but I think it's too large at the moment. I think we should cut down the size of the Senate and have fewer senators.
Okay, so reform. So do you find as well that it's just unfortunate in this election that you're running as a Green Party member because of your kind of tainted association with Fianna Fáil and government?
No, I don't. I think that we've always campaigned as a party that stands on its own 2 feet, that's independent, that has its own very distinctive agenda. We may be in with Fianna Fáil.
Yeah.
Fianna Fáil are unpopular. We didn't create the problems that got the country into this situation, but we want to be part of the recovery process.
But you don't feel like you'll be absorbed in the same way the PDs were?
No, I think we're fighting very hard to keep our own identity very separate. I think the people do see us as very different from Fianna Fáil, and I think it's going to continue to be that way.
And the voting began in 1979, and since then there's been a reduction in turnout year on from the elections. Do you find that maybe we should adopt or change the laws so as to force Irish people to vote?
No, I think the answer to it is to educate people more about, particularly Europe. The turnout for the European elections is falling with each election, and the reason for that is people don't understand. They're disengaged. We need to educate and involve people more
And
in
how
European.
exactly would you plan to do this? Like, what steps would you take, actual on-the-ground steps, to educate people, particularly young people?
Okay, well, one of the things I think we need is an European-wide information service, so giving people information about Europe through very different novel channels. We've got YouTube, we've got a lot of new technology that we should be using to reach out to people and make them more aware of European issues. We also need more elections to do with Europe. We need to look at how we appoint our commissioner in this country. It shouldn't be a political gift from the government of the day. It should be something that goes through a public inquiry process. The same way the Senate holds its hearings in the United States, we should interview our commissioners before we appoint them. If there was more of that, the public would be more engaged.
And in a lot of your posters, you say you will create thousands of green jobs. Now, a lot of people are unemployed, particularly young people. How do you plan to create these jobs? And do you think that 12 MEPs in Ireland can manage that?
No, I don't think 12 MEPs in Ireland on their own can manage that, but I think that the large political groupings to which those MEPs belong can have a significant impact in the European Parliament and at a European level. The European Green Party is looking for 500 billion euros of a stimulus package to be provided by the European Union to create 5 million new jobs across Europe. Ireland can definitely benefit from that. With great renewable energy resources, we need to be ahead of the pack. We need good, strong green voices in the Parliament, making sure that that investment is brought back home.
And as a Wicklow lady, I think you're from Wicklow, do you feel that possibly you would have more benefited if you campaigned in the East, and maybe instead of here, because Patricia McKenna is actually doing quite well as a former Green Party candidate, maybe you would have been better off? Maybe it was a poor Green Party strategy not to put you in the East as opposed to Dublin?
Well,
and not have a native candidate in Dublin?
No, the strategy of the party was very clearly thought through. That we have the strongest support base in Dublin and the whole country. The Green Party base is strongest in Dublin. I ran in Dublin because I was from Dublin. I went to school in Dublin. I went to college and worked most of my life in Dublin. I live in Bray, which is on the border between Leinster and Dublin, and Dublin was my chosen constituency for running for the European elections.
And if by any chance you weren't successful here, would you run on the Green Party ticket for president next summer? No, you wouldn't consider it.
I wouldn't set my sights that high.